He swings his arm back and said, "Don't hit me." And I'm like, "Dude, I didn't hit you." And then he rushes up to the front of the plane. He leaves the cart right there.
Terrell Davis, a.k.a. back-to-back championships, a.k.a. Elway couldn't do it without me. What? Yeah, he gonna get a lawsuit. It's going, and it's gonna get settled, and he's gonna get a good, big, fat check.
You can see on Mrs. Davis's face embarrassment, humiliation, confusion. She doesn't know what's going on. And for Mr. Davis, fully cooperative with the FBI agent that handcuffed him and escorted him off the plane. Children are always going to remember their father being escorted off an airplane, handcuffed by FBI agents. And United needs to be held accountable. So the FBI agent leaned down and whispered to Mr. Davis, "Don't fight it," and then placed handcuffs on. And his response was that certainly being a black man influenced either the actual report that was issued or the extent of law enforcement involvement.
Instagram. I am still in shock over the traumatizing events that occurred Saturday aboard a United flight from Denver to Orange County with my wife, 2 sons, and daughter. Now, the structure of that paragraph and some of the choice words alerts me immediately. Oh, we're going to have some litigation. As soon as I read that paragraph, I was like, traumatizing? Football player says traumatizing. Oh, he trying to let you know it hurt. Okay, all right, got family involved, all that. We about to go through this. During the beverage service, let me stop. You in, coach? My son politely requested a cup of ice. The flight attendant either didn't hear or ignored his request and continued past our row. I calmly reached behind me, reached behind me and lightly, oh, another one. Boy, this lawyer and him already work. Tapped his arm to get his attention, again asked for a cup of ice for my son. His response and the events that followed should stun us all of us. He shouted, "Don't hit me." I hate the panic attack person. Oh, all right. He shouted, "Don't hit me," and left the cart to hurriedly, that's a hard word, hurriedly approach the front of the plane. I was confused, as were the passengers in front of me who witnessed the exchange. Okay. I thought nothing of it other than this particular employee was incredibly rude and blatantly wrong in his accusations of me hitting. Okay. He did say, "Don't hit me." I did not see or interact with him further for the duration of the flight. When you touch another person, it's called assault. Now, it may be the most misdemeanor assault there is. You touch somebody else without their permission. I'm not here to litigate that because that don't sound like assault. As we landed in Orange County, the pilot asked all passengers to remain seated. 6 FBI and law enforcement agents boarded the plane. Now, this is scary. The FBI agents and local authorities proceeded directly to my seat and immediately placed me in handcuffs. In front of my son? My wife can see it. She know I'm a gangster. Oh, I'm a little itty bitty. If you put me in handcuffs in front of MJ, let me just tell you, you better keep them on for life. Okay, I gotta get back. Damn! I was seated and without any explanation. You got me hemmed up and ain't gonna say nothing? In front of my wife and children, while the entire flight of passengers watched in silence. Hell yeah, they quiet. They don't wanna get hemmed up. I was then removed from the flight while being recorded by multiple passengers they always film it, everything, as I was paraded off of the plane in handcuffs by the officers. Damn. I was and remain humiliated, embarrassed, powerless, and angry. Man, Georgia got some good ass English classes. This is amazing. During questioning, it was rightfully determined by the agents that this flight attendant was inaccurate in his accusations, and the agents profusely apologized, even offering to support me and my family in any way possible. Yeah, testify. You ain't got much to say about what happened, but you can tell me how he responded, how he acted. I have yet to hear anything from United Airlines. Shoot, they got a lot of flights, dog. They like, dog. You know how many people they hem up every day? The traumatizing experience of my 2 sons, my daughter, and my wife watching me being placed in handcuffs. Oh, did he hit him with the hyphens? Without due process or any explanation. Cannot be undone. At this very moment, not even 48 hours later, we as a family are having to have hard conversations with each other about what transpired and answer the many questions that my children have. I know he's sincere and I know he's real, but y'all know me, I live in levity. I laugh at everything, especially my pain. Pour that syrup on this damn case. Pour that syrup on this lawsuit, big dog. Big dog. Shoot. Kids could be on their Nintendo Switch. Like, Daddy, you all right? Shut up. Yo, you've been hit harder. I refuse to stand by without speaking out on this disgusting display of injustice and deplorable treatment by United Airlines. My legal team at Steiner, Gold, Greco, And Hensley will be in contact with United Airlines. Oh, yeah, line one, motherfucker. Line one. I demand a thorough and proper investigation into the flight attendant who blatantly lied and placed undue harm on me and my family. These lies and the ensuing event have the capacity to tarnish the reputation I have spent decades building, and this person should not be able to do this again to anyone in the future. Terrell Davis, aka back-to-back championships, aka Elway couldn't do it without me. What? Yeah, he gonna get a lawsuit. It's going, and it's gonna get settled, and he's gonna get a good, big, fat check.
Let's take us, for people who are not familiar with the story. You're on a flight.
Yeah.
Beverage service starts.
Yeah.
Tell us what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ordinary flight. They have the beverage service that starts, and I'm in row 11, and I'm in the aisle. My oldest son is right next to me in the middle seat. My youngest son is in the window seat. My wife is across the aisle, and my wife and daughter across the aisle in one row back. And so it's a typical flight, nothing out of the ordinary. Beverage service starts, and the gentleman pulls up, and I'm reading a magazine. My kids are playing with their iPads, so I heard him ask, like, what do you want, like, beverage, what do you want? And they were busy playing with the iPad, so they didn't respond. And I remember the tone got a little bit more aggressive. And I was like, man, that was kind of rude for him to ask my kids like that. So they got startled. They ordered their drinks. And I remember this, he puts the drinks down on the tray, but with force. Like he just kind of slams them down. They say, thank you. He doesn't say anything. So I was like, all right, whatever. So he asked me my order. I give him my order. Again, kind of slams the drink down. And again, I'm thinking, man, what is going on with this guy? But whatever. As he gives me my drink, he starts to move the cart. And my son says, excuse me, might I have some ice? And he obviously didn't hear my son ask for ice. So he moved the cart probably past my seat. And so my hand was up like, excuse me. And then I finally said, excuse me, can I get some ice? I just tapped him on the shoulder. He swings his arm back and said, don't hit me. And I'm like, dude, I didn't hit you. And then he rushes up to the front of the plane, leaves the cart right there, and the gentleman in front of me turns around and says, I saw everything. I saw that. Like why did you didn't hit him? I'm like, of course I didn't hit him. So as I'm sitting there on the plane, it was bizarre because he's up there for a couple of minutes, and again I was like, whatever. So I started reading the magazine.
So you don't think anything of it?
Nothing of it. Yeah. He comes back, he puts the cup of ice on my son's tray. He then takes the cart and takes it back up to first class. And about 3 minutes later, another flight attendant takes over. She brings the cart down, starts servicing the area, and that's it. But I don't see him for the rest of the flight.
You don't see him for the rest of the flight? But what did you see when you landed? What did you hear and see once the plane landed?
That's a different story. I mean, when we landed, they told everybody to remain in their seats because for whatever reason. And I thought it was a medical emergency. I fly a lot, so I've seen that before, where they say stay in your seat, someone they need to tend to. And so I've seen that before. So again, I'm just reading a magazine, and 4 or 5 minutes pass, and then my head is down, and I can hear like the walkie-talkies. I hear a lot of the gear and wrestling of like you can hear when they come on, and everybody you can kind of hear like the alls or like you can hear people the reactions to them coming on.
When you say they coming on, who's coming on? The FBI?
FBI, big FBI letters on the jackets.
Big as daylight. Can't miss it.
Yeah.
Okay.
FBI, I believe it was Orange County Sheriff Department, guys with green. I didn't know who they were at the time, but you can tell it was law enforcement. Without explaining to me why they were doing it, they walk up to me and the guy he whispers in my ear. He says, "Don't fight it," and he puts cuffs on me.
While I'm
sitting down.
With everybody still on the plane.
Everybody's on the plane.
He never introduced, acknowledged, or confirmed that it was Terrell.
Or say, hey, here's why. Here's what happened.
We're doing this, or
nothing.
Can I ask what happened? He just walked straight up to him and placed hands.
And what was it like for you, Tamika, to see your husband in handcuffs?
I thought it was a joke because what else could it be? And I saw the agents come on, so of course it caught my attention like everyone else, and they just walked straight up to Terrell and just played. And so I jumped out of my seat and I said, wait a minute, like what's going on? And I hopped over the woman next to me and I was kind of like, to Terrell, are you joking? Like, is this a is this a prank? Like, and he just said quietly, no, it's not. And I'm looking at my sons who are sitting right next to him, watching their dad being handcuffed. And what could we do? And I'm asking them, what is going on? Like, why are you doing this? Why? And they pick him, have him stand up and pull him out. So I go after him and he's telling me to stop. And then I'm standing there, the kids are still sitting in their seat. Everyone's staring at us.
And the children are ages 9 to 13?
We have 13, our sons are 13 and 11, our daughter is 9. No one helped me. Yeah. No, they came back, they asked for a jacket to drape over Terrell's wrist. I said, can we get off the plane? So I yelled to the kids, let's go. I grabbed Terrell's bag out of the overhead. Where do we go? Like, what do we do? I want to go with him. No one, we were just left to fend for ourselves on a flight with everyone staring at us.
Part of a civil lawsuit will be able to uncover exactly what was reported to law enforcement that required Mr. Davis to be handcuffed.